Well, hi, everybody. Fancy seeing you all here. This was actually meant to be set for tomorrow, but that is okay. We are here. Hi. Little, yeah, my bad. But how's everybody doing? Hey, Nash Native. Caroline with the crook. Drive safely. Hey, Turning the Leaves. Good to see you. Oh, don't thank me. I don't do anything. Hey, Angel. Mrs. M. Cheryl. Is it pretty local to you? Do you have any opinions on it? I'm pretty curious. I'm hearing, I'm sure you're hearing what I'm hearing, which is a lot of like speculations, rumors, and, gossip mill. But I was wondering if you heard anything different. Linda's Island, SS, thank you very much. Hey, Sharon, Tammy's Clip. Bartman, good to see you. Hey, Kate the Great, Froggy, Queen Bella, Ella, hey. No, I swear to God, Nellie has not been out here for the past hour because I watched a movie called Oddity after I got done cleaning and straightening up. And the minute she hears me go live, the cat comes out. I kid you not. She knows. Nobody could ever convince me otherwise. This cat is intelligent. Hey, Brian. Tia, good to see you. Hey, Kimberly. Colleen. Aristocat. Roddy, how you doing? Booberry. Look, I'm getting to see all you wonderful people that I don't see in the morning. I'm loving this. Hey, Aries, Brandon Carvera was found not guilty of starving his 4-year-old son, Benjamin, to death, despite video evidence showing the emancipated child begging for bread. Ugh. It's horrible. Hey, Bob H. Hey, Half Sour, Weezer, Jude, Chanley, Andy. No, she likes to bother me. Froggy with the number 27. Thank you. Back again. That's right, Lake Erie. Thank you for coming back. Linda's Island. Checking in with the cat in the box, peeking out because they're nosy. They do, Andy. I was never a cat person. I actually, I'm still not a cat person aside from my cat. Jackie, have you been watching? First off, Jackie, I have to tell you, I did think that you were a man when your name was Jack. So I do apologize for, I probably said man to you, whatever. Blissful, Polish, Red. It's 45 a.m. You're in Australia? Oh my goodness. That is so cool, but wild. Polish coming in with the fall decor for us. So watching all these videos of the damage, and it's literally breaking my heart. Is that close to you, Booberry? Booberry, email me. Are you hearing like the local speculation? Do you know anything we don't know? All that good stuff. And yeah, if you're able to go, I'd love for you to go. Have you ever been to that courthouse? Have you ever been in front of that judge? Have you ever ran into that sheriff? Are you a felon? Just kidding. Hey, Evie. Hey, Chantel. Aristocat. I'm in Spokane. You're early is too early. Yeah, I bet it is. I'm trying to work out a different schedule. I'm trying to figure myself out here. Hey, Shell. Trixies. Shay B. All right, I think I got yous. Pugopolis. Love it. You drive careful too, Lake Erie. Is everybody, I guess everybody here, that's why he changed it back. Hey, Shelly. Is safe, not affected by the hurricanes, at least not affected to too far an extent if you're here with us today. Hey, Jane. Jem. Georgia. Hey, Cynthia. Betty Boop. Hello. Yeah, Georgia, I've been following everything. I was in Vinnie Politan's while I was food shopping, and I saw some great people there. Our lovely Yep, and a few other of our friends of the channel here were in the chat, and I've been following this, waiting for yesterday to take place, and quite frankly, I'm not surprised. I'm a little surprised, but I'm not too surprised. There's a lot of speculation. Of course, we don't know anything. We don't know anything for certain. We got the bare minimum, which is, hey, Hun Lover, Deborah. This is involved the other case of Fisher, the one Stein's replaced. Yeah, I'll be showing that. was well respected and did a lot for the county. So I'm hearing otherwise, Shane. I'm hearing that like he's already been involved in allegations of like, you know, inappropriate sexual things. I'm hearing the wife had a protective order against him at one point. There's a lot of rumor. So today will be rumored. It will be. This is going to be speculation. Nothing here is factual. We are just going off what we have and speculating from there. Let me go ahead and make my banner. I have to mute so it doesn't do the weird mic thing. And also, I want to take a moment and give our condolences for, of course, the judge's life that was taken, his loved ones, the community, and everybody that is being affected by what took place. I can't imagine how scary that was. Did you see him plead not guilty? He wants manslaughter. Hey, Lindsay. Jammers. It was meant to be for tomorrow. It's meant to be tomorrow, Jammers. This way he messaged me and was like, oh, you're going live? And I'm like, oh, am I? Hey, Jason. Thank you, hun lover. I appreciate that. Steins retired yesterday. Not heard of who was replaced. They did announce their replacement. I have it right here. Something to do with a school teacher. Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up. I was actually just listening to that. Here's the thing. I don't know if I agree that he should have been allowed to retire because now he still gets shit. Now he still gets like the benefits and stuff, but what are you going to do? So I believe it was right here that they do mention his replacement, which they did rather quickly.
Yesterday, the judge did find probable cause, so this case will now move towards a grand jury. Then following that, it'll end up right here in a circuit courtroom like this one, once it goes to trial, but with a different judge presiding over the case.
Now I got to turn my volume down.
No, Vinny, unfortunately, the circuit court judge did not let us inside Judge Mullen's chambers, just out of respect for his family and everything the community is going through. But I do have a new piece of information to note that I found as we were navigating this community. I saw some front page news on the local newspaper, and a local school resource officer here in Letcher County has now been sworn in as the new sheriff of the county. So that's just
there you go. There you go, Booberry. You have told me that. I told you, Jess, I live in a very corrupt town. Extremely shady shit goes on here. Hell, I had a felon for a sheriff, for crying out loud. The judges on the bench are even worse. If he resigns, he gets his pension. Yeah. I'm a little shocked that they allowed that. Hey, Sassy Southern. And he literally resigned yesterday after the mayor told him, you either resign or you're like fired. Which I just found that to be absolutely insane. But that's how it works, right? That's how it goes. So I have a few different things that aren't, of course, I do have more back in this video I want to get to, but I have a few other things I want to, hold on, I want to look at before we do that. I do know there's a ton of speculation. We'll get into that in just a moment.
Your investigation, did you ascertain that prior in the day, there had been a lunch meeting between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins?
Oh, Sheriff, thank you so much.
Pardon?
There was.
So where did this take place?
Hey,
It's
Janet.
a restaurant called Street Side, and it's just down the street from the courthouse.
Are you aware of anything so far in your investigation that would tell us there was any issues at lunch between Judge?
No.
So I think it's important to note that they had lunch prior, and then they actually had a meeting in chambers where other people were also involved. Hey, Prupfer. Hey, PJ. PJ said I'm late. I was late too. This was meant to be for tomorrow, but here we are, friends, back again. Thank you for being here with me. I do appreciate all of you. Judges do what they want. So listen, right now, these are the two big speculations I've heard. Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard that the judge was having relations with his teenage daughter. The only good of it can be his wife would spend a pension. A prison commissary limits you to 100 per week. It's actually 300 in Florida. I don't know what it is in Kentucky, but in Florida it's 300. Hey, Muffin Mouse. Okay, so the next one is, the next big speculation I've heard is that the wife and the daughter were leaving the father, the sheriff, for being abusive, and the judge was helping. Put a 2 if you heard that one. Yeah, he was going to be fired anyway, Booberry, because of this. We're going to get into all of this. Vinny did do a little breakdown. There's some things he says and does I don't agree with. Hey, Cupcake, it's good to see all of you. Stacy, Angel Sleuth, yeah. 1 and 2. We've heard a lot of 1 and 2, but not many people heard number 2. You've heard both, Kate. How can you get a pension while incarcerated when you can't collect military benefits? There's so many things that are wrong with all of it. So after everything I've gathered, I am more likely to believe that they were looking to leave the father, that the wife was having a divorce, and that or just, escaping him is just what I'm led to believe. Escaping might be a heavy word, but you get it. The reason I say that is because the family, the mother and the daughter, are both coming out and saying the daughter was not in any type of sexual relation with the judge. So I don't know why that would be, why people would still believe that. But if you listen to what he said when he goes out and surrenders himself, he says they were going to kidnap my wife and daughter, my wife and kid. They were going to kidnap my wife and kid. Well, to me, what would be why somebody would think it was a kidnap, as if he was helping them get away. So I'm kind of leaning towards that right now, but we don't have enough, obviously. Jammers, welcome back. That's what I heard, but don't believe it. Really, Divine? Yeah, this is what I was read, and I believe it. I hate when that happens, Sassy Southern. Oh, it's because of the port. Oh, why the daughter didn't give up her phone, y'all? Why she didn't hand it over to the investigators? Oh, where'd hold on. Why didn't this open? All right, here we go. Let me play you all this really quick and see what you think. Might help if we have sound. Hold on. Sorry. We've learned the Kentucky sheriff who was charged with killing a judge yesterday in his chambers was embroiled in a scandal before the deadly encounter. Letcher County Sheriff Sean Steins gave a deposition this week. It was for a lawsuit accusing him of failing to investigate sexual abuse allegations involving one of his deputies. That deputy is said to have repeatedly sexually abused a woman in Judge Kevin Mullins' chambers. Oh, y'all, I was taken back because at first they came out with this photo of him, and I'm like, this, he looks a lot different than in this photo of him. He was obviously, way younger here. Big difference. Nonetheless, his life was taken way too soon. He's a young guy. He had family. A lot of people have sympathy for the sheriff, and I'm not saying don't, but at the end of the day, when you watch that video, does anything justify what we saw? And I don't know if you all saw it, but I will play it. So let's rewind this and listen again to what's being said here. We've learned the Kentucky sheriff who was charged with killing a judge yesterday in his chambers was embroiled in a scandal before the deadly encounter. Letcher County Sheriff Sean Steins gave a deposition this week. It was for a lawsuit accusing him of failing to investigate sexual abuse allegations involving one of his deputies. That deputy is said to have repeatedly sexually abused a woman in Judge Kevin Mullins' chambers. Kentucky State. So he failed to even investigate it. And of course, the judge, in his chambers, hey, PJ Second Chance, which was one of the smallest chambers I've ever seen. Now, give me just a minute while I bribe this kid to allow me to have some peace. Give me 1 second. 1 second, you guys. Hello, sweet Okay, sorry about that. Hey, Mr. Tomato Head, what are you confused about? I'm sorry. No, there's none. There's none at all. This is all horrific.
Police say Stein shot Judge Mullen several times following an argument yesterday. Stein surrendered without incident. We've learned.
Now, what's really bizarre about it is he did surrender without incident, but they said very little during the preliminary hearing. And what we did find out is that Stein's, the sheriff, I wonder if we're going to uncover something bigger here. Who just said that? Lou said, I'm wondering if we're going to cover, something bigger is going to happen here. Because here's my thing. If his daughter was a victim of the judges, or if his family was in danger and he was saying they were going to kidnap my wife and kid, who's going to protect them now? But the one thing we do know, without a doubt, is that he had 2 phones in his hand, one being the judge's. He called his daughter off his phone, his personal phone, the sheriff. She didn't answer. This is all, coming out in the preliminary. He then takes the judge's phone where the daughter's name and number is stored, and she answers. What does she say? And does this poor young girl now think it is her fault that this took place? Can you imagine what this would do to you? Like, on one hand is your father. And if you look at his Facebook and everything, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to invade the daughter's privacy. I'm not going to show her anything. She is, still a minor. But on his Facebook, he absolutely loved his daughter. He is very much appears to be. I mean, we know, looks, internet can be deceiving. But he seems to be a very good father. Oh, the Astros from space. They is the judge and that pastor. So she answered, hey, bae. So you think the pastor and the judge are involved? For attorney's sake, not question them. Lucy Lou comes to mind first. Family came out and said the daughter was not right. But then again, always pit. So apparently in Kentucky, the law is 16 is the age of consent. Now, she is 17? Does she feel like she was not SA'd? Are they using the term SA with intent? Was she in a relationship with this judge? Was she not? Again, she's a minor, so I don't know. I just can't believe that so many people are just taking that before we even heard anything. Like, nothing. Hey, going solo. Pastor and judge are best friends. Yeah, but the sheriff was really good friends with the judge, too. It's a very small town. That is just another resident, Mr. Tomato Head. If sheriff didn't do anything and turned blind eye to the deputy doing things, then maybe wife wanted to walk. Well, I'm hearing, and of course, you know what, Booberry? Maybe you are able to do this. But I don't know. Usually they're sealed, but I heard they're out there somewhere. But apparently the wife did file a restraining order. I know people with that same last name, the family pronounced it Stinnes, short I. Can you try that again for me, Lisbeth? I already have difficulties. If that's true, that she did try to get an RO against him, then it would make much more sense that he's saying they were trying to kidnap my wife and kid, when all actuality, the judge was simply helping them. So I'm going to show you a few screenshots I got. Granny, there are family members that said his wife and him were separated already. That's what I'm hearing. It looks like the judge is trying to help her out. That's what I'm hearing, August Moon, and that's the one that makes the most sense to me. You better stop that, Jason. Hey, Shauna, that's the one that makes the most sense to me. Steen instead of Stein. Thank you. Did a pumpkin eat your kitten? Well, it's her little cat bed. She's inside it. It took me a lot of time to do that. No, it was crackhead. So wasn't the daughter that was SA by the deputy? Well, I don't think we got to call her a crackhead, Erica, to be fair. No, the daughter is saying she was not. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up, Rhonda. I appreciate that. Sounds like the judge was trying to help them escape. That makes the most sense to me. Oh, let me see what you say. Age of consent 16. Yeah, but you can't be 10 years older than the person unless married. I just wonder how many, My pew after their daughter answered her phone, then answer me that. Because he may have figured out at that point that the rumors he heard of him helping are true. Right? OG Fish, Poetic Justice. Thank you. All right, so let's take do you guys think you're able to handle? Let me get the blurred version of the footage. I'm sure everybody's seen it by now. I'm sure everybody's seen it by now, but we're going to play it because I think there's a story to be told within it. Obviously, big warning here. This is very distressing content. I give my ultimate condolences to the loved ones of the judge. It's really sad. I can't imagine how they're all feeling. I can't imagine how either side is feeling right now. Honestly, I couldn't even fathom. So far, Jason, it sure does, doesn't it? I mean, this is graphic. Look first off, how small the chambers are. Well, his chamber is. That's a very small chamber. I always thought they were like big and... No, I didn't know that, Asher from Space. I don't know anything. Look how small this... And the saddest part is you have the judge under the table. Oh my gosh, he's trying to like hide. Just imagine the fear, all right? I know I got to let it run through, but just imagine you're in this close space. Somebody has a gun pointed at you and you have nowhere to run. You have nowhere to go. What do? He tries hiding underneath the table. I couldn't imagine the fear. It was the other deputy sheriff saying women that were on parole with ankle bracelets on inside the judge's room. Oh my gosh. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Lauren. All right. Just hear that crying. That was in the courtroom. I don't think you're a troll. I'm curious what you know, honestly. You don't have to stay quiet, please. Look at that right there. Hey, Stassi. What a terrifying moment. Your friend, the deputy, a person you see every day. Unless the Astro, unless you are such a narcissistic abuser that you know this time you've lost all control. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I can see that happening. That moment, this right here speaks so much. Oh, it's just horrifying. Shot him 8 times. 8 times. That's it. Speculation station. That is where we are. And that small room 8 times. Then he went back and said something when his pew. Excuse me, Nelly. When his pew the second time. I just can't fathom what could have somebody. And he doesn't look that angry within. Like Dorn, I mean, of course, you can't see much. We can't hear anything. What we do know is there was a meeting right before this where more people were in the room. That we do know. Hey, Mo. Surprise stream. Hey, Jem. I can see an abusive person fearing their wife is leaving him. Take drastic, desperate measures. Happens all the time. With his service weapon. You're right. Oh, 8 times? Yeah. Oh, you like that? My little friendly Casper down there. Hey, Kraken, I think there's way more too. Do any of you think we're going to find out about a large, huge corruption in that town? Put a 1 in the chat if you think we're going to find out there is some major corruption taking place. If the wife daughter were leaving and or left already, why are they behind him in court supporting him? Well, Mizzo, I have my personal reason for that would be guilt. Honestly, that would be, hey, Marshall Dove, think of it this way. When somebody you're angry with that you once, like, a divorce, an ex, whatever it may be, a relative, when they pass, you're suddenly not angry. You're suddenly like, man, I should have forgave for this. And you start remembering all the good times and you're it could be that type of situation. It could be, they can't believe it came to this, but at one point they loved him, right? It was her husband, her father of her child. I don't know. That would just be my guess, is that, you could have some type of, really, I'll have to take a closer look at that. They're trying to kidnap my wife and kid. Who do you guys think he's referring to? There. Was it a delusional moment? Does he mean that? Is there bigger things taking place? You're right, Mr. Tomato Head, because they think of the good times. They think of the love. They think it'll get better. Guilty they left or guilty they caused this? Which one would they feel? I'm going to go with maybe a mixture of both. Maybe they feel like they're the cause of this. People close to both said he was helping the sheriff's wife leave safely. He didn't want her to go and lose his daughter. That's what I think, August Moon, makes the most sense so far, based off what we have. Hey, J Fox. Right, Define. Who is they? Now, I know the Astro from Space keeps bringing up the pastor. This is the first I've heard of the pastor. And people like that can and will see red sometimes. You're 20 minutes from there too, Funky? What are you thinking? Much bigger? That's what you're thinking, obviously. You said it. But, oh, well, that's what I can see him calling that kidnap. Like, she never left me before. Now, because of this asshole, she thinks she's going to leave me. He's trying to kidnap her. I can see him considering that kidnap. His wife and daughter were seated right behind him in a courtroom. Yeah. Hey, T-Bell, I apologize. It's already been asked. Was the sheriff's wife in court? I heard that. So it was correct. So Vinnie Politan's, they came out and said he only has one daughter. I don't know where the second daughter's coming from. So if he only has one daughter, it'd be the daughter and the wife. I never looked up his wife or his daughter because I really honestly feel like they are victims in this. So I don't even want to look them up. Hey, Halloween baby. Pastor and his wife, judge and his daughter. That's what Astro Farm Space has heard as well, JR. So they didn't offer any condolences or anything, Astro from Space? Were you there by chance, or are you just going off the footage you saw? Probably others were going to help stash them where they couldn't be found. Daughter, wife, stepson. What a horrible situation. All right, let me pull this one up. And then I'll read you some, as I play this, I'm going to get you all some of the screenshots I've taken of locals that are talking. Hey, Casey. Hey, Okie. Some punk kid brought up you. I saw your comment right before I was going live because, again, I didn't realize my live was set for today. And I got a comment or a message. So I went on YouTube and looked, and I seen your comment. I got to respond to that. I can't believe that happens. All right. Let me pull this up. I'm going to play this as I get these.
they are back to work. And as I said, when you walk through the front door, there are people there waiting, dealing with their own respective cases, clerks, secretaries. The judge was there, circuit court judge, but they are back. They are up and running, just trying to move.
Right there. Look at them. So this is one comment. He found out that his wife and daughter were trying to get away from him. Why are you not reporting that they had left him before this happened? So apparently they were already not with the father, not living with them. Hey, Kelly. Ellen. Ghoulie Ghoul. Hello. And they had people between them, so they couldn't go over there. So, like, it was a hostile situation. You got the footage? Okay. Wow. The motive is obvious. He wanted to prevent them from leaving. Not kidnapped, but rescued. So August Moon really feels this. Wow. Hey, girlfriend. Now, if the own family's coming out and saying it had nothing to do with her being SA'd or M-worded by the judge, I mean, why would we believe otherwise? It's the only thing that makes sense so far. After being detained, saying just, yeah, treat me fair. And then he said they were going to kidnap my wife and kid. Hey, Nina Bina. A few weeks ago, there was a kid on Snapchat saying they were going to bring a weapon to the school, but someone's crying and let them go. I can't stand what's happening in our world. But then came to support him in court. Weird. So I agree with that, Nina. But like I was saying, it's kind of similar to when a tragedy strikes. You know, you're angry at an ex-lover or a family member, and then a tragedy takes place, and you kind of put the differences aside, or they pass on. You only remember the good things. I wonder if it would feel something like that. You know? Hey, Hooker. Son and friends to knock off the narcs during homecoming game. Oh my gosh. Hey, Lamila. I just goody two shoes. Hey, girlfriend.
Past everything that happened in their community just a short time ago. But again, there's flags flying at half mast. They haven't forgotten about it. I was standing there having a quick conversation with the judge, just saying how shaken up everybody still is. There's only a few dozen people walking up and down the streets, and when they see us here, they already know why we're here. They understand the magnitude of everything that's going on. But yes, they are back to work in that building.
All right, Cody on the case, you're going to stay with us. But right now, let's bring in our think tank joining us live in studio tonight.
All right, I like when they do that. I like when he does this. Vinny has like this weird thing about him losing his wife, daughter, and his job. Right, he had nothing left to lose. Jr. Hey, Darcy, that's what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like he had nothing left to lose. You guys, I have to share this proud. Well, it's not a proud mom moment, but it's a milestone, if you will. My son. So we're not far from places, you know, but it's the first time ever that my son is going with a group of his little buddies to walk up to what we call like the corner store. It's so cute. He's so excited. But it's like the final, my baby's not a baby no more. Hey, Pristine, if the judge is really helping the mother and daughter, why would the judge be contacting my daughter, not the mother? Well, here's the thing, Kraken, because maybe the husband was keeping track of the wife's phone, but not the daughter's, right? So maybe the mom was communicating with the judge via the daughter's cell phone. They do. They grow so fast. I know, sweet Sativia. I can't believe it. The kid has master. Stop, drop, and roll in the drop-off line. He'll be all right. That's right. He's a pro. Uh-huh. Give him a trophy. Matter of fact, he's so good, we don't even stop. Lost his freedom now. And if they were going to kidnap my wife and kid, who is now going to protect the wife and kid? It doesn't sound like something a sheriff would do. It doesn't make any sense to me. If it wasn't that he was already losing everything. Yeah, Casey, mine's 12 and a half, I guess you would say now. Daughter was interning for the judge. I did hear that. I think judge had her number because she interned there. But why would she not answer her father, but answer the judge? And what did she say? Like, what did she say when I don't like what could have been said that would make so angry? Don't you love it, Divine? Dude, I was watching a little short video earlier, and this lady, she was like Goodwill thrift shopping, and she found a Casper the Ghost statue, and I was so jealous. I wanted it. Oh, thank you, Aries. Look how far we've come. Isn't that so sweet? My next door neighbor was arrested by FBI on last Monday. Dad hired FBI agents, put hit out on his ex-wife and 6 kids. No shit. Oh my gosh, Ellen. Did they was it like a SWAT? I know, August Moon. I can't believe it. You can't go after a judge, so if you believe it, I can see it. You're right. You're right, Astro. You are right. Did you serve Dad the restraining order yet? Oh, if there's an RO, they wouldn't answer his calls. Oh, great points. I really can't wait until more info comes out. At this point, I've heard 5 different stories. I agree, Jem, which is why I just want to go. Well, I only heard 2, but which is why I want to go through them with you, is to see what you all think. Thank you. My youngest couldn't get stop, drop, and roll. He came home telling people, you stop, rock, and roll. Stop, rock, and roll. Mentioned an app, did he? All right, let's get to that. I know. You mean it's like we saw how small that room was, Remy, right? How could that take place? Yeah, because he was in deposition for the allegations of not here. Were you not in here? Hold on. This is why.
The Kentucky sheriff who was charged with killing a judge yesterday in his chambers was embroiled in a scandal before the deadly encounter. Letcher County Sheriff Sean Steins gave a deposition this week. It was for a lawsuit accusing him of failing to investigate sexual abuse allegations involving one of his deputies. That deputy is said to have repeatedly sexually abused a woman in Judge Kevin Mullins' chambers. Kentucky State Police say Steins shot Judge Mullins several.
There you have it. That's why. That is why, Darcy. See, now, all right, so if there was a secret communication app, that would make more sense, right? That would make more sense along the lines of he was helping them, Mrs. Norris. They were oddly placed. Well, they had a meeting with others inside there right before this all took place. Oh, at the time of it, I doubt it. But there are cameras in there, right? Based on what we saw.
Criminal defense attorney Daryl Cohen, criminal defense attorney Meg Strickler, and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Marie Pereira. Daryl's former prosecutor too, though.
I am indeed.
Okay. I just want to make sure that you didn't get rid of that.
Then he gets so heated here, he cracks me up. But this looks like they stuffed the judge in a weird office. It's like a little tiny, I don't know. Did anybody else think chambers were nicer than that? Like I envisioned like nice like couches. And anybody else watch the show? Gosh, what was the show about the judge and his son gets in that car accident and takes the life of like the mafia leader's son? What was that called? Anybody? I know, Proud Firma, I'm telling you. You're watching too? I was food shopping and interacting. Gosh, it was a really, Your Honor. Thank you, Twist. Thank you, Mr. Tomato Head. That's how I envisioned chambers to be. This was a damn closet. Yes. Great show. Did you all watch it? Middle school PE teacher's office. That's what it looked like. It was tiny. Oh, yeah, Kimber. I probably watched too much TV. I love Judge Judy. The one they're speaking on was a girl named Jennifer. Feels used his authority to make her do some vile things. She ended up taking her own life over it. I think she had help unaliving herself. No shit. So not only was she SA'd, but she took her life. I did not, Mama Bear. Night court. I did not. GD, thank you. It was a meeting at the restaurant and no one in a judge's chamber. Hold on, let me play this.
Of course, your investigation, did you ascertain that prior in the day there had been a lunch meeting between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins?
There was.
Pardon?
There was.
So where did this take place?
It's a restaurant called Street Side, and it's just down the street from the courthouse.
Are you aware of anything so far in your investigation that would tell us there was any issues at lunch between Judge
No,
Mullins and Sheriff Steins?
no.
And there was nothing unusual that had arisen during that luncheon?
I was told that the judge made a statement to Mickey about, do we need to meet private in my chambers?
So the judge, listen to that. Allegedly, so far, the judge requested that meeting. It may have been a small portion of chambers because 4 people were in there before. That's what I thought too, JR. But whatchamacallit just said differently. The Astro just said differently. I thought that as well. I thought all 4 were in there. And honestly, if you look at like the whole footage of the incident that took place, you can see the room's bigger than what it appears to be when they're like zoomed in. The judge wanted to speak privately. That's interesting. Took place within a few paces of that courtroom.
That's all I was told.
Do you know the context of
I do not.
what the conversation
So daughter, wife, right there behind the husband.
was before
The
that they
sheriff.
would need to discuss in chambers?
I do not.
So it's my understanding that in the larger portion of the video that we haven't had access to, that there is a point when Sheriff Steins asked for to see the telephone of Judge Mullins.
Now that's interesting. He says to the judge, let me see your phone. Do you want to speak privately on this matter? And that was it. That was it, Ed. That's all it took.
Yes.
Is that a yes? I mean,
Yes.
yes. Okay. And I would presume that you and the other officers you mentioned when you secured the scene, that you secured those phones as well. Is that correct?
He's
Yes.
given very little information.
And have you reviewed both of those phones?
They're currently at the forensic lab at this time being downloaded. I have had discussions with the people at the lab regarding the downloads.
Are you aware of any recent content that was up and could have been relevant at the time of their discussion?
I was told that Sheriff Steins had tried to call his daughter.
So the sheriff uses his phone. He tries to call the daughter, right? One of the ladies working handed her phone over too. Now the sheriff left the lunch after getting a call. The sheriff went pick up his daughter early from school. How do you know all this, Astro? So sheriff left the lunch after getting a call. So he gets a phone call, goes and picks up his daughter, goes for this meeting. They didn't leave and go to the courthouse, y'all. The sheriff left and went and got his daughter out of school early. The lady who gave her phone is the judge's side piece. Oh my golly. Holy crap, Astro. I think this is going to be insane. This is going to be nuts. I've tried searching Reddit. I don't find much. I heard daughter was A+ student, wanted to get into law. Yeah, judge mentored her and her grades were dropping. Mentored her and her grades were dropping, which some would relate to the allegations of SA, right? Like what would cause that? So that can add to that.
And he had tried to call his daughter from the judge's phone also.
So have you obtained the phone records from
Yeah, Elise.
Judge Mullins's phone?
I don't have those in my possession yet. No.
Okay. Have you
Yep.
issued a search
Yeah,
warrant for them?
Yes.
Okay. And have officers confirmed that the sheriff's daughter's phone number was on Judge Mullins's phone?
Yes.
See, I wish they would have phrased that differently. Like, all right, we know it was on there because he called his daughter from it. Was it stored? Was it already on there? Was it stored on there? That's what I want to know. Was it stored under, her name? Was it stored under something different? Was it stored at all? He's intentionally given very little, which you can argue. hold on, let me do that. You can argue that's with reason. Well, this is where they announced they have their new sheriff. Judge Adams has named Billy Jones County School Resource Officer since 2019 as the new sheriff, as the county's new sheriff. Look how sad this is. Two friends with seemingly no animosity between them, both with important jobs and both well thought of in their communities. But last Thursday, something broke. A 20-year friendship came to a devastating end when Letcher County Sheriff Sean Mickey Steens pulled his duty weapon and shot Letcher County District Judge Kevin Mullins dead in his office. With witnesses just on, it's going to tell me I have to sign up. Gosh darn it. Let me sign it. What? I'm not paying you for your shit. Anyway, I'll do it this way. Oh, they had, look how sad this was. Look at that photo of the judge with the baby. Where do we go from here? Look how sad that is. Two friends for 20 years. What would cause, after 20 years of friendship, what would cause this to take place? It would have to be something significant. Okay, thank you. Thank you. You know what I mean? Like, what? Something major had to take place, Roberta. Something. If Judge was mentoring her, then I would think they would call each other. I would agree. You would think the father would be aware of that. Do I still have sound? Oh, it just says, all right. Do 14-year-olds typically get mentored by sit-in judges? Good question, Scott. I'm not very familiar. The ultimate betrayal, right, Kraken? And what would be ultimate betrayal? We got both situations. Having some type of secret hidden relationship with the wife and the daughter, trying to rescue them from the abusive sheriff father. We got the allegations of the daughter being a victim of the judges. What was was the wife having some type of secret relationship? Who knows? It's just really hard to fathom what could happen that would cause this. Yeah, you're right. They're right. The questions won't likely be answered anytime soon. This is as much as they gave us. Yeah, it would be. This is the second time I've heard of a 14-year-old, though. I have heard a 14-year-old. I know the sheriff's daughter was 17, but I'm with Scott, and I've heard of a 14-year-old as well. Something huge went down before this happened, for sure. Well, yeah, a lot of courthouses are like that. I think the sheriff would lose in everything, snapped when he realized his family was leaving. All speculation, of course. I haven't heard any reliable claims the judge was a pervert, etc. Anyone else? No, the only thing we've heard of is what the other officer allegedly was doing in his chambers. That's it. Following this video. Isn't there like any conflict of interest here or anything? You know what I mean? Hold on. Let me look something up. Wouldn't there be some type, like, I don't know. If the town's this small, I mean, even the lawyer, I mean, I'm sorry, not the lawyer, even the mayor gave him a chance to resign. After something like this, being given the chance to resign. Any of you with me on that? That shouldn't they have called the deputy sooner as the cameras in there? Right. Like, do they not have like security watching cameras? Is there just cameras because of the previous allegations? Or I don't know. Hey, Starboy Glows. That's right, Renee. Let's hit the like, please. Thank you. 1,000 miles away in different county. State, please, not county. Okay. That makes more sense. Thank you. The number was stored in a judge's phone. Internal Affairs gets involved in shit like this. I would think so. Wasn't a sheriff and his wife getting a divorce because I saw something and wife was trying to get a PO against him. That's what we've been talking about, Bite Me. That so far as speculation goes, that is the only speculation I've heard that makes sense this far. That's what I thought, Flower Nana. So it was after the SA allegations was found out. You think so, Hooker? You heard that the pastor was indicted 3 times for traffic and was pardoned. That's where the pastor comes in. Is there any documents to back that up, Starboy? The benefits probably would go to his wife and kids. I know, but I still just can't believe it. Oh, were you not hearing it? It did say my thing disconnected. Thank you for telling me that. I'm sorry.
You personally.
Is it working now? Thank you for telling me that, FSU. The pastor is 7, not 3. We have any receipts on that? Oh my gosh, stop it, Nelly. All right, let's see. She's beautiful.
Governor Beshear had called on Steins to resign in a letter last week, but instead his lawyer wrote a letter to the governor's office.
The lawyer wrote a letter.
I've pulled it up for you.
Dear Mr. Mayo, Sheriff Sean Mickey Steins has proudly served the people of Letcher County for over 22 years. He expresses his heartfelt appreciation and love for the support this community has given him and his family during his time of service. Mr. Steins has made a difficult decision to effect his retirement as of September 30th, 2024. This decision is made not as a result of any ultimatum or in any way as a concession to any allegations made by the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Rather, Sheriff Steins has made the decision to allow for a successor to continue to protect his beloved constituents while he addresses legal process ahead of him. Oh, please. Oh, please. All right. So she's going to present documents. Yeah, she's pretty amazing. Quick ad commercial. Here we go. Let's see, y'all.
That I'm just going to say it, in a benign way. Okay.
Let's see.
One is that perhaps the judge was doing something nefarious with the daughter. The other is that the judge was helping the family escape from the.
Oh, look at that. We had the same thought. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It does show that he seemed to be very close with his daughter. Oh, this is so sad. Hey, Pearls.
Possibly abusive sheriff. We don't know. We don't know enough about it. Right? But it seems to me that the judge seems to think he has some sort of heat of passion defense. And
Oh, she's thinking, they're thinking they have a heat of passion defense. Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, what kind of defense could you have to that? What kind of defense could you have to what we saw? I just I don't see there being any. That's what I'm saying, Sarah P. Something bad had to happen. Well, Scott, the only thing we could think of, I can think of is like, it's such a tragedy. It makes you like, oh my God, that was my husband. That was the father of my child. I don't know.
So let's just all take a step back and wait for some more information to come out. But what I want to do is show you this lawsuit.
Yeah, I saw
it's a federal lawsuit.
Hey, Cheesy.
That, interestingly enough, was stayed during the criminal prosecution. So for those of you who were...
So give me one quick second, but listen to what I'm going to say in just a second. Sheriff White did. Parents have to sign paperwork with the high school or college in order. Being a sheriff, his service weapon wouldn't have been seized when entering a courthouse, right? No, and his office was right down the hall. Come on, Nelly. What? What a pain in my butt, I'll tell you. Telling you, this cat figured out how to get me, y'all. She really did. Speaking of GoFundMe's, did anybody else see that the Gonzalez family has set up another GoFundMe in order to be at the trial for the Idaho 4? A lot of people are not happy about this one. They are not happy about it. She got me, Remy. I suckered in. Hey, hindsight. I suckered in. I would listen to her sit here and keep whining. Shut the hell up. But she knows. I mean, they're not stupid, man. They're very freaking clever. What do you guys think? Lindsay's, yeah, I mean, what do you guys think of that? No thought. It is what it is. I mean, what do you think? You think it's fine? I'd want to be there. I'm also seeing a lot of people that are against it saying they were offered all those things for free. So I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Families are victims too. Is it through? They've received over 1K already? Not off this one. I just, yeah, people are not happy. I will say that. I mean, what are you going to do though, right? Is this real? Give me 1 second. No. Would you all believe this? Check this out. Can we take a little detour real quick? Can we take a detour? Yes, it was originally 50K. It got close to being met and they raised it. He could have publicly had this man shamed or disbarred. Something made him snap into protector mode. You think so? So, guess who has a GoFundMe? Aside from them. It's now for 75K. Guess who has a GoFundMe aside from them? I know it's been more outspoken about what is going on. So it doesn't bother you, Angel Sleuths? That's interesting. Dun, dun. Hey, better. 50K plus 70K plus 125K to 10. That's a bit extreme. Sometimes you have to pay your own way. Did they have more than that? I only seen the one. Anyway, look at this. Hi, it's Harsh here, and I'm reaching out to the community because I want to attend the trial of Brian Kohberger. Have looked at pricing of flights and accommodations. It would likely cost me around $8,000 to do this. However, based on the fact that this case has been such a central part of the entire Harsh Reality channel over the last nearly 2 years, well, then guess what? If you covered it for over 2 years and it's what your channel's based around, then you have the funds yourself. Uh-huh. Yep. You guys seeing this? No, Harsh Reality, stay your big self on the other side of the pond. Uh-huh. Over the last 2 years, I feel that attendance to the trial itself is something that makes sense. To be able to bring you content daily after actually sitting in a courtroom, perhaps getting to speak to some of the people around the case face to face. It would mean 6 weeks away from my family, so this is a huge commitment, but something I want to do. I'm asking those that can assist in me being able to do this. However, should anything happen between now and the trial, all monies will be refunded. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Thoughts? Oh, he gets so stuck on one case, makes videos out of nothing. Seriously. Mm-hmm. You can fly to Fiji for less. America doesn't want you. No. Hey, Titanium. I thought the dude disappeared, another flat brimmer with no brain. Yeah, this is interesting. So this was just a little sidestep, Jane. I do apologize. Chance of getting a seat at the trial is slim to none. Right. Yeah, 8,000. He's asking for 8,000 to go. So, she golly. All right, that was interesting. Sorry, back on track now. Let's get the bus back on track. I do apologize. I just found that interesting.
With me this morning when we talked about the Karen Reed civil case that the O'Keefe's brought against her.
That was for Idaho.
Karen Reed has made a motion to stay the civil lawsuit during the proceedings.
Wait, what am I looking at? He was a main player in conspiracy theories floating in a circus it turned into. They're not going to let him in the courtroom. Yeah, I'm definitely coming down with something again. Never heard of this guy. Oh, aren't you lucky? Aren't you lucky? Hey, Regina. He wants $8,000 to be a spectator in the hallway. Free vacation. You can see more when he responds to people. I didn't even check on his channel, Scott. Wow.
Yes, I know. I covered that this morning. Civil case. You got to go back and watch it if you haven't seen it.
All right, give us the papers.
You their names is because Sabrina Atkins has been very public about this lawsuit. Jennifer Hill died of a drug overdose after this lawsuit was filed.
So it wasn't unalivened. Well, I guess it still could have been. Rest in peace to her. And this is their lawsuit for the SA allegations that were taking place inside the judge's chambers. And no, I didn't. I keep forgetting, Flower Nana. The deputy wouldn't pursue it. Is that my girl? Yep. Yep, it is.
She is no longer, sadly. Rest in peace, Jennifer Hill.
All right, let's go down here.
Then Fields, in his individual.
This is a civil action for damages for violation of constitutional rights of plaintiffs by the defendants, acting under color of state law. In addition, the plaintiffs allege that the defendants are liable under state law. They assert that the defendant, Ben Fields, in his individual and official capacities, violated plaintiffs' rights secured by the 4th and 14th Amendments. Arbitrary action, unreasonable search and seizure, deprivation of liberty. The plaintiffs also allege that defendant Fields is liable under state law for damages for false imprisonment, assault, battery, malicious prosecution, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligence, and gross negligence. Where does... So she was arrested in Letcher, Sabrina, from April 21st, 2021, to June 2021. She was incarcerated in jail. She was released and placed on home incarceration. Defendant Fields was a deputy sheriff. Ooh, deputy sheriffs coming in hot. Defendant Fields visited. Oh. She was having a hard time finding housing with the housing issues, and she had domestic issues. Fields visited Sabrina in the evening, the night she was released from the county jail, to bring her cigarettes and to console her. At this time, Sabrina notified Defendant Fields that she did not have the money to pay for her ankle bracelet, but she was terrified to return to jail. He made flirtatious comments about Sabrina's looks and body and told her that he was confident that they could work something out. Sabrina understood these communications mean that she would receive favorable treatment from Defendant Fields if she provided him with sexual favors. Holy shit. Hey, Pretty Is. Thank you so much. Celebrating our 1 year today. You have the stomach flu going around. I don't know what's going on. Thank you so much, Yep. I sincerely appreciate you. Like, deeply. Thank you. So what do you guys think of that? This is Fields. It's not saying Heels or Halls. It's saying Fields. Defendant Fields. If she provided him with sexual favors. Oh, what am I doing? Sabrina understood. All right. Thereafter, Sabrina and Defendant Fields communicate on a regular basis by text. In late June, Defendant Fields asked Sabrina to meet him at the Letcher County Courthouse in the evening after dark. Defendant Fields took Sabrina into District Judge Mullen's chambers, telling Sabrina that he wanted to meet her there because there were no cameras. At this time, Defendant Fields took off Sabrina's ankle monitor and told her that she would not have to pay the associated fees any longer, but could remain out on home incarceration. Wow. Did they lose it? No shit. It is horrible, Chris said. It really is. Hey, J. Brad. Happy Thursday to you. There was a hidden camera. Was there?
But he wanted to meet her.
Oh, sorry. During these meetings, between late June and December, Fields met Sabrina at the Letcher County Courthouse in the evening or early morning hours approximately 6 times. During these meetings, Defendant Fields' behavior escalated from flirtatious comments to forcible kissing to oral sex to intercourse with Sabrina, all of which occurred at the Letcher County Courthouse after hours in Judge Mullen's chambers. I mean, hey, Mystic Butterfly, what do these people, they're not paying, they don't know? Was there no cameras at that point? No, the judge wasn't in the building. It was when it was closed. So wouldn't the first red flag be that he's messaging you, telling you, or he's in person, I'm sorry, not message. In person, he comes to visit you. You share your concerns of having to go back to jail, and he tells you, with your body, I'm sure we can work something out. And then he wants you to meet him at a closed courthouse? Right, who has the keys? Good question, Remy and Scott. Right, Stacey, that's probably why. I love that, Yep. I love that. I'm so glad that you, I don't have the time or the skills. Mr. Smith, has Sabrina's lawyer said in an interview the judge was a witness twice, allegedly. This isn't sounding good. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. This isn't going to be good, Lauren. I think we're going to uncover a lot. Oh my God, my nose is so stuffy. Oh, we missed number 17. Sabrina was coerced and compelled to comply with Defendant Fields' advances given his position of power because she could not afford to pay for the ankle monitor and did not want to return to the county jail. At this point, though, the monitor was off. Scan a badge. You would think some type of alert would go off. Custodians would have the master keys unless it's all keypad. And if he was electronically opening it like that often, wouldn't they be aware? Only the judge has access to the chamber. I think there are going to be many more victims' hindsights, unfortunately. That's what I'm saying. Wouldn't it be recorded? I agree. I agree with Gina. I think it's going to get somewhere. Sabrina did not consent to the actual abuse. These meetings would typically occur the night before Sabrina had a court appearance. Fields would put Sabrina's ankle monitor back on and otherwise fix it so that she would appear compliant with her. Oh, Lord have mercy. It didn't even catch up on me yet. He took the ankle monitor off without, how could he? Without the courts being aware. How could he do that when they're being monitored? You as well, August Moon. Thank you for coming in. That doesn't make sense, does it? How would he be able to do that? They monitor the ankle monitors, hence the word monitor. How would he be able to take it off? And then before a court hearing, he put it back on so it appears she was being compliant. He ran the program, though? So he was the one that was monitoring everyone? Lord have mercy. Oh, the corruption. Oh my gosh. How many other women are there? I know. I'm like baffled over here. Oh, and the judge gave him that position. Was he immediately fired after these allegations? I mean, no, he wasn't, because we know the sheriff didn't even look into them. It is horrific. Hey, Jill. I know, Captain Ganja. I'm with you. Holy shit. You're right. I mean, you're right, Saudi Frey. I know corruption, obviously, but I'm just baffled. Because there's no way he did this alone. I'm sorry. There's no way he did this alone. All right. Keep going, Nasa. All right. Upon information and belief, in December of 2021, certain persons at the Letcher County Courthouse were notified that defendant Fields was having inappropriate communications and or relations with Sabrina, and provided text messages evidencing the inappropriate communications and relations. She reached out for help. Oh my gosh. Upon information and belief, defendant Fields became aware of the information contained in the preceding paragraph. So after she makes them aware in December, and late December, he stops communicating with her by text messages or otherwise. So after she tells somebody what's going on, he stops communicating. Oh, Lord have mercy. Upon information and belief, in early January 2022, defendant Fields filed a what? Filed a complaint against Sabrina, claiming she was not compliant. Oh my God. Oh my God. What the fuck would you do if this were you? Small town. He has all the power over you. You go and report him, so now he claims you weren't. Oh my God. Stop it right now. I need to get my bait, y'all. Lord, where is it? Can't get it because I don't know where it's at. Probably why my throat hurts anyway. I am just, woo! All right. I would believe so, Remy, because he is a person of yeah. Because in the format it took place, so even if she agreed to it, it was to stay out of jail. You know what I mean? Like, ooh. So now he says she's not complying. You son of a dirty, corrupt bitch. Oh my God. Upon information belief, this complaint was filed maliciously. No shit. In an effort to punish Sabrina in an attempt to save his own job and reputation. She was then arrested January 26. Sabrina was terrified that she would be transferred to Letcher County Jail, where, upon information and belief, defendant Fields' wife is employed as an officer. Oh my gosh. Hey, roller skate. His wife is an officer at the jail. This is like a Lifetime movie, and this really happened to this woman. This really happened to this lady named Sabrina. This breaks my heart. You did. I didn't call you a troll. To be fair, Astro, you said we were going to think you were a troll. I didn't call you a troll. Yeah, just when you think it couldn't get any worse, Chrisette. Flower Nana. She was terrified after she reported him. He then said she was in violation. And she was terrified that she would be, Tia's like, I did. She was terrified that she would be sent to go back to the jail where the defendant Officer Fields' wife was an officer. Oh, thank you, Nicole. There's all kinds of shit going on here. One guy killed 4 people in a car accident. He only served 4 years. Another man ran his child over while on drugs and stayed in jail for a year. Time served. Stop it. Boo Bower, you need to get out of there, girl. You need to get out of there. Oh, my God. So his wife is employed as an officer, and where upon information believed defendant Fields was previously employed. So he might have also worked there. Sabrina had and continues to have serious concerns for her safety and welfare. Absolutely. If she were to be transferred to the Letcher County Jail. So she's still in jail at the time of this filing? Hey, Violet. Wonder if she has video from her phone. She had text messages. She had messages. Oh, well, roller skates, to be fair, I'm just using her papers. I could have been, a little more discreet about it and taking screenshots and, but just using it this way. Sabrina had and continues to have, well, of course she would, right? As a direct and proximate result of defendant's actions, Sabrina has suffered, I believe she has suffered, emotional distress, pain, suffering, and mental anguish. All right, so she was arrested. Here comes Jennifer. Now, Jennifer is deceased. Jennifer has passed away from a drug overdose, according to what Melanie says. Rather large YouTube channel tuned to live in Letcher County, KY, and they won't even comment on a situation of fear of retaliation. Oh, I don't like this, Poppy. I don't like this. Jennifer was arrested in 2019. The Letcher County Jail's house below the Letcher County Courthouse in the same building. What? The jail is in the same building as the courthouse? Oh, Violet, I seen that. That was adorable. That was you. Thank you. Well, someone put a hidden camera in the judge's chamber, so someone knew something. Oh, my golly. Wow. Oh, my gosh. In approximately August of 2020, Jennifer was put on home incarceration and to be supervised by Fields. When Jennifer was first notified she'd be let out on home incarceration, Fields took Jennifer to a small room in the Letcher County Jail to put her ankle monitor on. At this time, Fields told Jennifer that if she could not afford to pay, you slime ball, home incarceration fees, they could work something out. When Jennifer asked defendant Fields for clarification, he told her that if Jennifer would do him a favor, he would do her a favor. Jennifer understood defendant Fields to be asking for sex in exchange for a waiver of home incarceration fees, which I'm telling you, that stuff can get very costly. Now, thankfully, I was never on it, but I know people that were, and it's very expensive. Jill, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. My civil judge is to be, used to be our county attorney who stole child support funds to buy his mistress a house. He ended up paying it back, so they elected him to judge later that year. Oh, stop it. It is prostitution. Well, Not, well, it could be argued. Jennifer told him no, she was not interested. Fields had previously gone to Jennifer's home to install a box, which at that time was necessary for home incarceration, and further verify that the home was satisfactory and otherwise complied with home incarceration requirements. I did see that, Georgia. I did see that. 3 days later, defendant Fields showed up at Jennifer's home and arrested her, purportedly because her home was not properly maintained. What? This was pretext, and upon information believed, Jennifer was arrested because she refused to comply with defendant Fields' request for sex. So in this situation, there was no oh, well, maybe it goes on. Jennifer was finally released from custody sometime later that same year. On or about August 17th, Jennifer was again arrested in Letcher County, and soon thereafter, she was bonded out of jail on the condition that she complied with home incarceration. Fields came to Letcher County Jail to put an ankle monitor on Jennifer. Within a few days, Fields showed up at Jennifer's home with Sheriff Mickey Steins, other law enforcement officers, and an ambulance, and claimed that they were responding to a report that Jennifer had overdosed. This was false. Jennifer was in the process of unloading groceries from the car when these individuals arrived. What? What do you guys think is so far about Jennifer's? I don't know about this. I do, Georgia. Send me an email. Upon information and belief, this report and visit were orchestrated by Fields in an attempt to intimidate and harass Jennifer. Fields stayed at Jennifer's home after all the other law enforcement and emergency service persons left and threatened to take Jennifer in for a drug screen in a further attempt to intimidate and harass Jennifer. Well, it's not necessarily to intimidate. The next day, Fields returned to Jennifer's house and parked his Letcher County Sheriff's Department vehicle behind her house where it was hidden from passerby. I don't know. Let me see if there's more proof. Fields knocked on Jennifer's door and instructed Jennifer that if she did not do as he said, he would put her back in jail. Fields told Jennifer that if she made him happy, he would make her happy. He further told her that if he was not happy, neither of them would be happy. Jennifer understood him to mean that if she did not do as he instructed, he would make sure she ended up back in jail. He then commanded Jennifer to come outside and get into the front seat of his vehicle, which she did. Oh, thank you, Jane. He then got into the front seat and told Jennifer that he wanted oral. She involuntarily complied. He then offered to pay her fees. Jennifer's fiancé assisted her with those payments. She did not want him to find out about her interactions with defendant Fields, so she said no. Defendant Fields then notified Jennifer that he would be back in a couple of days and left. This happened in my town, only it was the head of probation. After he was caught and arrested, he never made it to court. She told witnesses then, so I believe her. Does that all come up in here, Ma? Or Mel, I'm sorry. Jesus, golly, this guy's a real piece of shit, man. What a real piece of shit. Jennifer told a friend and roommate about what occurred, but did not tell her fiancé about Fields at this time. 3 days later, Fields returned to Jennifer's home and in a similar fashion instructed her to have sexual intercourse with him in the back of the Letcher County Sheriff's Department vehicle while he was driving. She involuntarily complied. He again told Jennifer that if she kept him happy, he would keep her happy, and told her not to tell anyone about what had occurred. There were 2 additional times in the weeks and months that followed when defendant Fields similarly came to Jennifer's home and instructed her to have sexual intercourse with him in the backseat of the sheriff department's vehicle. She involuntarily complied with instructions on these occasions also. Jennifer told her roommate and a friend about these additional instances of sexual abuse on or about the days they occurred. Each time defendant Fields came to Jennifer's house for sex, he was wearing his department uniform, driving their vehicle. Each time defendant Fields came to Jennifer's house for sex, he reminded her that she needed to keep him happy, that he could have her arrested and put in jail where he would make her life miserable. Jennifer was coerced and compelled to comply with defendant Fields. What? Wait a minute. What are you guys thinking of this? I want to. So Mickey Steins is named in this suit for allegedly failing to properly train Fields. Fields is a veteran deputy and has not been the subject of any previous complaints. Sue says the abuse occurred in the chamber of District Judge Kevin Mullins, but doesn't say he was aware of it or allege he was involved in any wrongdoing. Mullins did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Steins, who had learned of the lawsuit from a reporter, noted that Atkins was charged January 26 with escape. She was charged last year with possession of a controlled substance. June 2nd, Field was assigned to her incarceration officer, a visitor to bring cigarettes, console her. She does say a certain unnamed person at the courthouse reported Fields was having inappropriate contact with her and provided text messages proving it. He filed a complaint against her that she wasn't complying. Why are they unnamed? Upon information and belief, there are other women Fields has similarly abused. I don't know. This is too creepy. But it does say the judge was not involved. I'm going to... Oh, here he is. I was trying to be a nosy bitch. Hold on. Here he is. Oh my God, my freaking nose. All right. Where'd you go? Where'd his photo go? So this is him, you guys. This is him. Sorry, but did it say what finally gave her the braveness to bring it forward? That's a great question. Technically, judges decide who's involved. Of course it says that, but his chamber is being used, so he knew something. How many jobs in how many counties? Well, that's the problem, Mrs. Marduk. That's exactly what they do, isn't it? They get fired from one police department and they get sent to work at another. It's good old boy system here. Oh, girl, Boo Bear, you know I've experienced it myself. Small good old boy politics, you know I've experienced it. I believe it. That judge knew exactly what was going on. They all do. None of their hands are clean whatsoever. I know, Tia. Ick. No thanks. No wonder he was forcing these women. And then to top it off, his wife also worked at the jail? Oh my gosh, can you imagine how these women felt? It is sickening. Absolutely sickening. Just get out of here, sir. We don't even want to see your nasty face. So we know Steins was already in trouble. Does all of this come into play? Do you guys think this has any bearing on what's taking place right now or no? You think it's all just separate? Jennifer did not consent. Fields came to Jennifer's home and demanded sex. Jennifer told Fields that she could not have sex with him, telling him that her fiancé was on his way home. On the same occasion, she asked defendant Fields if she'd go visit her newborn granddaughter in London, Kentucky. Defendant Fields agreed and removed Jennifer's ankle monitor so she can make this trip. Well, Lord, that would be proof right there. That would be proof right there. Cheech the Peach. I think we're going to find out a lot of secrets too. I like your cat. And she still works there. And his sister. The whole family's in on it. Oh, yeah, FSU. I thought a deputy was possibly in trouble. Yeah, Deputy Fields right here. That's who we're reading about, Deputy Fields. Son of a gun. Upon information believed, defendant Fields then reported that Jennifer had violated a condition of her bond and she was arrested. So he comes and asks her, tells her to have relations with him, right? She says, I can't. My fiance's on his way home. But can I go visit my new grandbaby? He says, yeah, of course. Takes the ankle monitor off and then reports her as violating. At that time, she was arrested. Her belongings, including her cell phone, were confiscated. So that's why she's not going to have any messages or anything. Then they kept her there from October to December. Within the first couple of days of her after arrest and the presence of Deputy Sheriff Whittaker, defendant Fields told Jennifer to remember what I told you and keep your mouth shut. Whittaker, you didn't question why he was saying that shit? Oh my gosh. 3 occasions, Fields and his wife, Angie Fields, who worked at the county jail, removed Jennifer from her cell in an attempt to gain information regarding other inmates. Upon information and belief, the actions described in the 2 preceding paragraphs were done to harass and intimidate Jennifer. So he had his wife grabbing her to him and saying, hey, snitch on people. Oh, and then the boot. She gets out of jail, and don't you know? Her cell phone disappeared. What was the sheriff daughter, Donnie? I'm pretty far behind, but I don't mind. Sorry. Tenant trial is more than travel and lodging. They still have homes, families maintain their absence. It's very true, Amber. It's very true. I didn't even consider that, to be honest. Thank you for pointing that out. Do you know why he shot the judge? No, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. Right now, we know there is a lot of corruption going on in that town. A lot. That's all we know for sure. Oh, all right. So her cell phone disappears. Fields, or persons working on his behalf, took Jennifer's cell phone because there were incriminating communications between Jennifer and Fields on her phone. Girl, you didn't take screenshots, send them to a girlfriend, back up the messages, nothing. Upon information believed, defendant Fields' sister, Holly, Lord, now Holly works for the county drug and court program. I can't. The whole damn family works there. I mean, does it get any more small town politics than this? Oh my gosh. After being released in the presence of Jennifer's fiance, Fields notified Jennifer that his sister Holly had just notified defendant Fields that Jennifer would soon be arrested due to a warrant from another county. Oh my God. Right, she would have it on the cloud, I would think. In 2021, a warrant was issued for Jennifer's arrest for a purported drug court violation. Jennifer was arrested and placed in Perry County, Kentucky at Kentucky River Regional Jail on drug court violation. Jennifer is terrified that she'll be returned to Letcher County Jail, where upon information belief, Fields' wife remains employed. Oh my gosh. Oh, then he tells her to run. I don't believe that. That part I don't believe. During the same conversation, defendant Fields told Jennifer that she needed to run to avoid arrest, and she did. Then she gets hit with a warrant. Then she's arrested. I don't know if I believe the whole you need to run part, so she did. Oh. Oh, upon information and belief, defendant Steins. There he is. Steins recommended defendant feels to EKCS for employment. So Steins, our sheriff here that took the judge's life, recommended Steins. And he was just hired in 2020 to see the home incarceration ankle monitoring program. So he was new to that. Well, failed to provide defendant Fields with any significant training related to his position. No amount of training would have stopped that. Luna, what I'm reading is they have a big, corrupt little town over there. This is why I don't believe she unalived herself. I believe they did it to her to shut her up. Happens a lot down here with addicts. That's why they picked them. They can get rid of them and say OD. But why is the other woman alive, Booberry? Why wouldn't they have done it to both? So Fields was, Steins was actually part of this. Anybody want to come up and talk? Any thoughts on it? My throat hurts. Was Judge Freeman sheriff? Absolutely, Salty Fry. That's a great question. How much did the judge know? Put a 1 in the chat if you think the judge was aware. Put a 2 if you think he was just an innocent man and they used his office. Oh, it is, Chrisit. This is all connected. This is all shockingly connected. We didn't even finish their preliminary. Oh, my goodness. I see some ones coming in the chat. You think so, Lisa? I do too, pretty is. Uh-huh. Halloween baby. I'm sorry. I don't believe. Yes, there has to be other women. There has to be. Oh, my gosh. How you doing, Tia?
Good. How are you?
Oh.
Are you going to continue covering this? Because now I'm emotionally involved.
Yes, I feel like I am too. I feel like I have to. This is
okay. Good.
I mean, just listening to it all, I was like, oh, there's more to this. When you hear, deputy sheriff shoots the judge in the face, something's involved there. But all of this.
So what does all this have to do with picking up the phone? Take me back there.
Okay, so apparently they all go out to lunch, a few others. And when they're at lunch, the judge makes a comment to the sheriff and says, do we need to have a private meeting? And I suppose they say yes, because they go on to have a private meeting. Now, they released part of the footage, but they didn't release the beginning part. And apparently, in some part of the footage, you see Steins tell the judge, give me your phone. He gives him his phone. The deputy uses his own phone to call his daughter. She doesn't pick up. He then calls the daughter from the judge's phone, and she picks up. But we don't know what she said.
But how does this relate to all the other stuff? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because the initial rumors was that the judge was SAing the sheriff's daughter.
Yeah, I hope not.
But here's the thing. The wife and the daughter, and the family has spoken and said that it's not true, that she's not a victim of SA, but she's also 17. So maybe she doesn't consider herself a victim if there was any relations going on.
See, that's where I'm lost right there, is where the phone stuff comes in. So I want to hear more. Like, I want to try to link what happened to that. But oh my God, this whole thing is so crazy.
And then the other story, rumor that's going around, according to a lot of locals, is that the sheriff was abusive. The wife had already split from him. had already tried getting a restraining order on him, and the judge was simply helping the wife and the daughter leave the sheriff.
Which I could see that too. I can see that angle too.
That one seemed more reasonable to me, to be honest. Simply
Me too.
because they came out and said they weren't, she's not a victim.
And they were at the court hearing. So
yeah, they are sent behind the father. So a lot of people are like, well, wait, if he's abusive and they were leaving, why would they be supporting him now? And the only thing I can think is guilt. A lot of times, a lot of victims of domestic violence and such, they do go back. They do get, so I can see them kind of supporting him despite everything, if that were the case. Excuse me.
But if you're programmed like that, in which, we all know that abusers have the control and can program, and you can wind up, doing things you wouldn't normally do. So that does make a little bit of sense. I'm not sure though. I need to know, I literally need to know more about this case. This is crazy. And I've heard about it, but I didn't know in depth what was going on. So I was really glad to catch her live.
And honestly, it sounds like it sounds like something you'd watch on Lifetime. And it's literally stomach turning to know that these type of things are actually happening.
Well, somebody said in chat, there has to be more women. Not just, which really broke my heart, because I was like, I agree, but what happened to those women? And
are they going to come forward now? Have they come forward now?
Right. Well, and I think these friends owe Jennifer an apology too. Where's their culpability if she's trying to get help and nobody's helping her?
Right. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
And
I'm gonna hop down. I was just I had so many questions.
Yeah.
This is a doozy.
Well, even in here, they're saying, in this filing, they're saying, upon everything they know, they do believe there's other women victims out there. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. So when he surrendered himself, he did say just take it easy on me, and then he said they were trying to kidnap my wife and kid.
Which I heard you say that, and I have different feelings on that. I don't know what that means. I don't want to put my spin on what I think it means, because I don't know enough. You know what I mean? It'd be totally speculation, but I that's an interesting statement to make.
Well, and here's the thing. It could go towards each of the two big conspiracies right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could go towards either or. It works in both of those scenarios.
Right. You're absolutely right. I don't know. I was listening, and I feel terrible for the Jennifer lady. I mean, talk about just trying to do anything you can just to, keep afloat. And there's so many questions. I think this is going to be one that's interesting to cover, because there's so many different layers to it.
Absolutely.
And also, it doesn't have Sebastian Rogers' name in it. God bless you for that.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you.
I'm sorry. I'm just
a breather, to be honest.
We do. And I wish everybody good luck there, but I really, oh boy, do I long for something different. So
I know, believe me. It's like everywhere you turn. Have a great day, Lauren. Thank you. This is Tia Dash on panel. It's like everywhere you turn, it's the same things all day long. Which is why I was watching Vinnie Politan. He was talking about this, and I'm like, this is so dang interesting, but I think it's only the beginning. And now hearing all of this that follows, the allegations where Stein was named in the lawsuit, he had to put in a deposition. He didn't even investigate these women's claims. He didn't even bother to investigate them. He just tossed it aside.
Yeah, that's what's so bothersome. But I look forward to your coverage on this one. I'll be tuning in, because, like I said, I think there's going to be a lot of layers here.
I do too.
And I think it's going to be a great deep dive, interesting to do and interesting to listen to. So good luck with it.
Let me ask you this. Oh, sorry. Let me ask you this before you go.
Yeah.
If either way you look at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we look at it like the judge was having relations, or if we look at it that somebody was that they were going to kidnap. We're talking about a deputy sheriff, right? We're talking about the head man in command, underneath the judge, of course. But you mean to tell me either way, because I know a lot of people are like, well, if the judge was hurting his daughter, then good on the sheriff. And then people are saying, oh, if he's like uncovering this master undermine, good on him. He had no right whatsoever to take that judge's life, especially how he did. There is zero justification. This man had all the power to do what he needed to do to stop all of this. My question is to you, because this is what keeps coming through my mind. If either of the two were true, who's now going to protect them if the male protector, the father, the husband, is in jail? That part I can't get around to you. That's what makes me think it had to be an angry, that's what makes me believe that the stories of the wife trying to leave him may be true. And he felt like he was losing everything, his job, his wife, his daughter. And he blamed the judge because the judge was low-key helping. And after being friends for 20 years, he felt the betrayal in his soul when his own daughter didn't answer his phone, but answered the judge's.
Well, I think that speaks volumes too, that the daughter didn't answer his call, but answered the judge. Mm-hmm. And if there is an RO in place, and I don't, if.
Right.
Why? Because there's clearly some things going on there that the daughter was following directions and not answering her phone with the no contact. And I think, it sounds like an abusive situation, whatever that level is. And I'm not speculating on what level of abuse, but if you get an RO, we all know that there's a level of abuse that's happening there that you deserve protection for. Mm-hmm. And either way you speculate on this one, whichever lane you're in on this one, it's a no-win situation. Let me say this, and it's an easy cop out for me. I just want to hear more. I want to learn more because I don't know which way I'm leaning.
There needs to be more because it's too wide open right now. I totally understand what you're saying. You can lean either way or just straightforward, but it seems like this is going to be a very interesting one. And I don't know if he's going to go for some type. People are thinking he's going to go for insanity, temporary insanity, which I feel like a lot of criminals do that. Are you following Wade Wilson's dumbass?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I know. So what's crazy about that is I locked in an interview with Mila.
Did you?
Weeks back. I was so excited. I thought it was all set in the bag. I told everybody, hey, I'm going to do an interview with one of the news reports that we were watching, with one of the surviving victims of Wade Wilson. Dude, she wanted like money for it. And I mean money.
Did she really?
Uh-huh. Yep. So I was like, yeah,
I think they're all gross. I started watching it on Jones's when she started covering it about a month ago or whatever. And I mean, first of all, he is so crazy thinking that he was going to get out. Two, just the level of conversation is so elementary. Like it's almost painful to listen to it.
Uh-huh.
And
Did
then
you hear how gross? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, that's okay. Sorry, my phone
That's okay.
was ringing there through my computer. It just wait.
How gross was it when him and Jesse were speaking and Jesse tried to stop the phone calls from coming out because she knew what would come out and they'd find out that Jesse was Wade's girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. One of many, if I may add. But when they were talking about the big donator, Jeanette, oh my gosh, my heart broke for the lady. But at the same time, it was hard to have much empathy for her because she gave $21,000 to a murderer.
Listen, I don't understand these women, but I'll tell you what, I lived for Duty Ron going after the quote unquote attorney.
That was great. I just watched
Wasn't that amazing?
Yes.
I don't know how these women, they find the biggest loser and they're like, yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy.
And they're all saying
I'm getting behind.
Yeah. This is my future husband. We're Wade's wives. And they're all, I love you. And he does that. He calls them all babe. And oh my gosh, how pitiful when the phone disconnected. And she was like, I love you more. And it just disconnected. And she was like, I was terrified. You were terrified that he maybe didn't say I love you back, Not, not the fact that he
That's
took
your
the
biggest
lives of
fear?
2 women. Right. You know what I mean? And admitted it several times especially for a cheeseburger. Are you kidding me?
I know. He is so gross. Stassi, I agree. He's so gross.
I know. I don't get it. I don't get what these women are seeing behind him and the money he's raised and
I have nothing against, if you want to write a criminal, you write your criminal. You go for it. But this man in particular he's like, please go back and look at his crime.
Right.
Go back and look what got him there. Like, he doesn't care about you.
Well, even what he said, I knew in that moment that I was the lion and she was the prey.
You betcha.
That right there tells you everything.
Oh,
it just makes me absolutely sick. But that one woman gave him that much money, and then Jesse's all insecure about it. He's like, "Oh, you got to help me because we're finessing her," type of thing. Ew.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean,
I can't believe that these people give the amounts that they do. Think like the most he can buy is Doritos.
Right. He's only allowed. So I loved it when he said he's a limit of 300. And I'm like, oh, a limit. You piece of shit. He shouldn't be getting anything, Tia. None of this should be allowed to happen. None of it.
I couldn't agree with you more. Are you following any of the Diddy stuff?
Not necessarily. No.
It's rough.
Yeah. And you know what? There's too much to it for me. Like, I know the basics of it. I'm not following it deeply. But I also, I kind of get angry because I feel like there's so many people involved that,
funny you say that.
There should be hundreds and hundreds of people arrested with him.
I agree with you 1,000%. We've been looking into it, and I'll tell you what, it started to really piss me off the other night, and it like drains you when you start listening to the abuse. It drains me. I don't like.
I could imagine.
And secondly, to hear the names, I'm like, go ahead. Y'all should just be sitting in there together. In fact, with all that money, take all their money, build a new jail, and throw them all in the same time. I don't care. Just get them off the streets. Oh, it is triggering. I agree.
But they're not going to be taken off the streets, Tia. They're not. It's just one less person, part of their empire. It's going to continue. Then nothing's ever going to change it. It doesn't. I mean, people like to believe like they got Diddy. You know why they probably got Diddy? Because Diddy fucked over somebody that was in a higher power than him, and that's it. It's not because of his victims coming forward. It's not because of evidence that I guarantee, fucked over somebody that had more power than him, probably one of select few, and that's why he's now in the position he is.
He's nothing but a middleman. He is nothing but a middleman. He's not the guy.
No.
He's the guy they caught. He's not the guy.
Right. And again, I only think they caught him because somebody turned his ass in. I do. I think the corruption goes deep enough. I mean, that guy came out years ago and he said, oh, Sean Combs, while he's being arrested, the guy that lit the Trump hotel on fire or whatever. Yeah, and they kept dismissing him, making him feel like he's crazy. And he told them then that he has FBI involved. He has all these people involved. And everybody labeled him crazy. I don't think he's crazy. I do think he has way more powerful people than him that are in this. And it's not going to stop. So actually, it's kind of similar to this. Like, we might find out this small town had this big level of corruption going on. And but here we have corruption on such a large scale. How is not terrifying to everybody? I don't understand.
Well, everyone in that town should be scared because you don't have a law enforcement or a judicial system right now. So anyone who lives in the town that this happened in Kentucky should be damn scared.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Because where the hell do you turn?
Right. Who do you trust?
You got brothers and sisters and husbands and wives and
all the families involved. And you know what? Like Boo Berry said earlier, they kind of pick addicts out because they know they're easy to get rid of, right? They're easy to frame and blah, blah, blah. There's been something
in that
happening.
area too. I think people are real easy to disappear.
Right. That's what I mean. And that's what's scary. And the similar has been happening in Kensington. So every time one of these young ladies because there's like Facebook groups and there's, these organizations set up that try to help these people and get them off the streets. You wouldn't believe how many mothers say, my daughter called me. She wanted to come home, and now I can't find her. And they never, ever appear again. They were regularly seen on the streets of Kensington until they wanted to come home, and then they are never, ever heard of again. And I believe that. I believe that somebody is stopping these women, rather it be they're being trafficked, they're being murdered, they're being held against their will. I do believe there are people that are keeping these people stuck there.
So you brought up Kensington, and that is a personal, my heart aches for Kensington. Okay. Have you seen the cameras that they have?
Yeah, they shouldn't even be allowed. Like, you're watching a fucking zoo.
Exploitation. It's a complete exploitation of humans. And it really hurts my heart. It really, really hurts my heart. But I did watch one day, and what baffled me, what completely baffled me, not only the amount of people that were on the street, but how every morning at 8 o'clock, the police roll up and don't do a thing. They just pull up.
Yep. I had somebody say to me,
there's no one being helped. You know, there's people falling over. There's people ODing. There's people, they're not doing anything.
Right.
So what are we doing to actually clean up? And what does it mean, clean up Kensington? Because you're not really doing anything. It just, that is a really sad situation to me. And I know that you're a Philadelphia person, so you have much more knowledge on it, but I just, it's really, to me, that's a really sad situation. And you do hear about people going missing from there constantly.
Yes. Right, they're saying they want to come home. And here's what's crazy. So there's somebody I know, a professional, and I made a statement to them how I would love to go do an interview like they do down in Kensington. Like, I would love to interview down there, but it's scary. And they told me they went down there with a security guard to offer help in their services, and they were told to leave. They had 20 minutes to get out of there or else. And there was an officer that stood with this gang that told them to leave. And I believe them. I think it is a trap. I think Kensington is set up that way. And I do believe that it is another place of corruption.
I agree with you. I've done a little bit of homework on that because, like I said, when I turned on the YouTube channels and I was like, first of all, what am I watching? And then secondly, why am I watching this? Because this isn't fair. It just brought on, like, I started investigating a little bit more, like what happens there, and you know, watching the cops pull up and do nothing, and people, Ludwig, I'm sorry.
And then the girls that want to leave and they just they disappear after that. They just disappear.
I know. I thought about putting together like care packages and handing them out there, but it's like, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing with that too, Tia, because I've done that. When I've gone down there and we did like soup on Sundays and all that. But there are people literally in Kensington that will tell you one of the reasons they don't leave is there is no rock bottom. They have everything they need right there. They have the food, they have the clothing, they have the shelter, and they have the drugs. There is no rock bottom. I mean, to those of us, we think rock bottom is Kensington, right? But to the actual addicts, they will tell you it is a heaven for addicts because they get everything right there. They're not going hungry.
I never would have thought that. And that is fascinating. And I'm not saying that in a great way. I'm saying that in the holy shit. That is, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, they will tell you themselves that it is literally a system meant to keep them there. They're not struggling or wanting for much. Of course, there are some that are, you know what I mean? Like they're really fighting the battle of addiction. But as far as like going hungry or being cold or all of that goes, no, it's all handed. It's all, they got it all.
Yeah. You have some people celebrating in chat. I think that's amazing. And nothing makes me prouder of someone who can turn their life around and change a characteristic in their life. Because, you know, that's what it is. You're changing genes, you're changing characteristics, you're changing everything, not just your person, place, and things. So I have the utmost respect for those who have overcome and continue on a daily basis to fight. Congratulations to everyone who's done that.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest things ever.
I can't imagine. And I don't say that in a disrespect. I couldn't imagine. Because like I said, it's changing. You're changing everything. You're changing your thought, you know, how your thoughts, how you, everything, your body, your spirit, everything. So it's when I see things like, 8 years and a couple months clean, I'm like, please keep going.
Absolutely.
As a stranger, I'm very proud of you, and not in a condescending way, in a most respectful, thank God for you way.
I'm so grateful that the act of addiction and recovery has so much awareness now that there's an amount of shame that has been lifted with that awareness. People are no longer shameful to admit. It's now a pride behind it. And I think that's fantastic because it spreads the hope that others can do it too. I mean, the saying is we do recover, and people do recover. 20 years clean. Say it's insane. 3 years off Xanax. Congratulations, Kelly. Yeah, it's a hell of a trip, I'll tell you that. And watching these people over in Kensington and thinking of these women like Jennifer, and they're already at their bottom. They're trying to get their lives together, but there is somebody there to keep them down. It's horrible.
That's why I think it's so incredible when people can overcome. And that's what, it's heroic. It's nothing less than heroic. It's really, you get my all my respect. Oh wow, Stassi, 14 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to hop down. I just want to celebrate those who deserve celebration. And I want to hear more about this case because I'm involved.
Yeah. It's fascinating on such a, not fascinating in a pleasuring way, but a like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that the people of Kentucky, I can't imagine how they feel. Do they feel safer knowing that this type of corruption is going to be, unraveled, or do they feel like, holy shit, there's nobody here to protect us? I don't know.
I'd be nervous as hell. If it were me, I would be nervous as hell because I wouldn't know who to trust or who to turn to.
Gosh, that would be terrifying. Actually, I know it's terrifying. I've experienced it.
Oh, that sucks.
Sitting here thinking that would be terrifying. No, I've experienced it. It is fucking terrifying.
I know exactly what that's like.
I've experienced it. No, still though, seriously. One that still wants to talk about judge others and seems to forget they wants there too. Oh, I know, living for all. Well, I do appreciate you, Tia. Thank you for coming up.
Thanks for having me, and great job on this one. You've gotten so many of us involved, so we want to watch.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think we're all looking for different avenues to take and things to overstayed. Addiction has given up everything for one thing. Recovery has given up one thing for everything. Love that. You don't know how deep it goes, who to trust. Nope. I know. Yep. Posse McPotts. Oh, I did. I love that. Hey, Just Samantha. So yeah, I mean, this is where we're at so far. I'll finish this one out. I interrupted it several times.
Sheriff Steins, following this video.
Did I personally observe him once?
Did you meet with him? Did you talk to him after?
He was in custody when I arrived at the courthouse that afternoon.
All right. And at some point, did you draw any observation about his demeanor?
He was mostly calm, I thought. I mean, I talked to him, but he didn't say nothing about why this had happened.
Like, you mean to tell me he doesn't know why he did it yet? I mean, come on. FSU, I'm so happy to hear she's clean now. Oh my goodness. Adam, it just came from stupid speculation. There's no like truth to it or facts to it yet. Where I'm from, a jailer got one of the females pregnant and got to keep his job. Holy shit, Trina B. Oh, it makes me sick. And oh gosh.
But he was calm. He was kind of afraid that basically all he said was treat me fair. That's basically the comments he made. I wasn't present, but when he was taken into custody, I was told by one of the other officers that were there that he made the comment, they're trying to kidnap my wife and kid.
Have you ascertained any evidence that this shooting
I agree, Booberry,
was pre-planned?
No.
Okay.
Not at this time.
Does it appear that this took place as a reaction to what was happening in the chambers at that point?
Yeah.
I can say it occurred after a phone call was made. I don't know what was said or nothing like that.
Why is he dead? We were hoping that you could shed some light on that.
Of course, your investigation, did you ask her?
What the heck is playing?
Jesse is.
Oh, something went on to play. There's the ice cream man. Well, so far, guys, I'm with you, just Samantha. That is my fear. As far as speculations go, that is the one that makes the most sense. Me and Yep and a few others were in Vinnie Politan's last night, and I told Yep I just can't wait to jump into this. Like there's so much I want to say. There's so much I can say that I need to talk about this. And Yep is fully on board too, and I am excited. We are excited to see what we can bring to all of you. She has filed for some documents and stuff, and Yep, when she does her research, she does it fantastically. So we'll be looking. Is it true the wife left him a week prior? So this is what people are speculating. I don't know. As of right now, just Samantha, we have no facts other than the video we saw where the sheriff thought it was his place, who knows why, to do what he did to the judge. And I'm sorry, but that video was horrifying. I'm on a roll, Nicole B. Why not at this point, right? Why not? You know, again, I know there's a lot of speculation, but even with the speculation we have, do any of you think it justifies what that sheriff did? When you watch that video, it is chilling. It is honestly deeply chilling to see that man in that moment trying everything he could to get away from the sheriff and his weapon. I don't know. We'd have to find out there were some real horrific things going on to justify what we saw. And even then, I don't know if it's justifiable. But I do appreciate all of you being here with me tonight. If you haven't, would you please consider hitting a thumbs up? Thank you so much, Blueberry. I appreciate that. It is very interesting. Nothing, Poppy? I guess we're going to find out in time. I guess we're going to find out. Thank you for being here with me. And I will see you all. No one interrogated him. It seems like there may not have been a real interrogation. Or he remained silent the whole time. Who knows? I don't know. Again, it's a waiting game now. Angel Sleuth, thank you so much. Listen, I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow morning. Thank you for being here. I didn't mean to set it up. I'm so thankful so many of you did show up. I hope you all have a fantastic Thursday. We are one day away from the weekend. Woo! I don't know about all of you, but I'm excited. And yeah, I'll see you all back here tomorrow, hopefully. Have a great night, everybody.